Newark. I'm your host, Sienna Chanel. Mayor Baraka in the city of Newark renamed Broad Street to Mayor Kenneth A. Gibson Boulevard.
On behalf of the city, we welcome all of the attendees who are here to recognize and salute Mayor Kenneth Allen Gibson for the renaming of Broad Street in his honor.
By enshrining his name into the streets of Newark, we are sharing with future generations the importance of Mayor Gibson's contributions to the foundations of this great city. Through his work over 4 terms, Mayor Gibson revived Newark by focusing on issues of economic equality, fair housing, and public health for his residents. Mayor Gibson said, and I quote, "I've always maintained that wherever American cities are going, Newark is going to get there first."
Thank you for that. Let's thank Mayor Baraka for having the courage to honor him on Broad Street. Broad Street, which has always been a part of Newark's history, always been the main thoroughfare in the state of New Jersey, will now be named after a man who gave so much to the city of Newark.
By changing the name from Broad Street to Kenneth Allen Gibson Boulevard means that we made a turn in history, that we've moved forward in history. We have the first African-American mayor that just didn't represent African-Americans, but represented the entire city of Newark and gave his life so that all Newarkers can benefit from the progress of this city.
There you go. One more.
We officially have Mayor Kenneth A. Gibson Boulevard unveiled by the family. Let's give it a huge round of applause.
Mayor Baraka was presented an honorary law degree from Bloomfield College.
For your professional accomplishments and commitment to the lives of New Jerseyans and Americans, Bloomfield College is proud to confer upon you the degree of Honorary Doctor of Laws with all the rights, duties, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
We need you to be brilliant. We need you to be brilliant, but courageous enough to understand that climate change is real, and that you have to find ways to sustain our economy, our environment. We need you to be brilliant. We also need you to be courageous enough to lower the wealth gap in our economy, to make sure that our wages are increased, to make sure wealth is distributed to all Americans, despite the language they speak, the history of their family, who they choose to love, or the God that they pray to. We need you to lead this country, to take us forward, to do something that we've been very afraid to do, to make America really a democracy for all of its people, no matter where they are in this country. God bless you.
Forbes Opportunity Zone Summit brings big names to Newark.
This whole concept of equitable development is something that mayors have been struggling with all over the nation. Actually, it's not something that is germane to the city of Newark. We just began to try to get on the ground early.
There's a lot of stuff that, especially in the real estate development, that simply happens by asking people to bring on minority co-developers, asking for greater levels of affordability, and really baking in that intentionality into the beginning. And so I think this was the opportunity to do that.
So our commitment and our hope for Newark and our belief in the leadership of the mayor and of the public-private partnership that exists here is that we use Newark to demonstrate what's possible in terms of lifting up community members.
We're trying to find opportunity, wealth, capital, investment for the rest of the city, not just real estate investment, job growth, income to families, healthcare.
Measuring what's happening to families that live in these communities, not to investors that are putting money in, but to families. Will, I think, allow Newark to set a powerful example and again create a movement that others can follow to best take advantage of this tax law and best lift up the most number of Americans.
I think those things are the tools that make opportunity zones, more attractive here in the city of Newark, because when that capital comes into the city, we already have tools in place to be able to capture it and use it in an equitable way.
The $10 million Mulberry Commons Park officially opens with distinguished guests and access to the park's amenities.
There's all of these young people that are here, these children, these kids from these schools that are here, and prayerfully the park will become a home for them and an opportunity to hang out and have fun. The impact that it's going to have is going to last generations. It's going to last generations because what you see is a park. What you don't see is all the development that will take place because of this park. And I invite you who don't even live here to a park which we're going to consider a convening of our city to exchange our multicultural values, our culture, our history, to be able to do this in one park. And that's what I see when I see Mulberry Commons. I just don't see grass and trees. I see Newark beginning to see itself as what it can become. Today we're selling you something different. We're selling you a story of a city that's on a comeback. All of the naysayers will finally be put to bed that Newark is one community. Despite all of the stuff that makes us, the inclination for us to be divided, to separate ourselves because of power, because of all these other things, this park is going to prove to everybody that Newark is one community. God bless you. This is an incredible, incredible day for the city of Newark, and it's got me very, very, very excited. Thank you.
This has been another episode of What's New, Newark. I'm your host, Sienna Chanel.